Hey guys, it's Kelly. Hey, I did a tag tonight, little mixed media project. I was jonesing, and I recorded it as I went. So I decided to go with black gesso. I want to challenge myself to use black gesso and green paint because I usually struggle with working with green paint. And I have a golden acrylic glaze that I wanted to give a shot to. So had some new things I wanted to try. Had no idea how it was going to work out, but I went with it. So there is the acrylic glazing liquid and its satin finish. And what I wanted to use was my, what the heck are those called? My Lumiere paints. But they're very, very thick paints. And the acrylic glazing liquid, what that does is kind of thin it out a little bit and keep it wet a little bit longer so I can work with it a little bit longer. And this is more of an experiment of exactly how will this glaze behave. I was kind of learning how it does because this is the first time I used it. And it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. And for this, I wanted the sheen of the paint, but I didn't want it really, really thick because I knew I was going to add some layers on it. So I just wanted to kind of thin it out a little bit. And then you can kind of still see the black through it. I'm really excited because I'm gonna use this on a lot of other ideas that I have. So I think it's going to be great to have it in my arsenal. But yeah, so I put 2 coats on there because, again, I was just kind of playing with that and seeing how it was going to work with the Lumiere paint, which I love those paints, but I didn't want it quite so thick. I don't know why I started with black because I covered the whole darn thing up, but that's how it goes. So I just dried it really well, and then I had some stickers that I believe I got from Tara. Pretty sure I did. But I've been wanting to use them, and they're really, really cool. Heidi Swap stickers, I believe. So I just stuck that on there. I had no idea where I was going with this. I was just playing around, recording as I went. And as usual, it just kind of comes together somehow, some way in the end. So I'm just pushing that down really well, and then I cut it off and save that other piece because I can use that on another tag. And what I want to start doing is doing, you know how everybody does iCads. I talked to Aaron about this over at Imperfect Impulses and got his opinion on it. I want to start this, and hopefully I can get this in the new year, but I want to do iQuicks. I can't do an iCAD because I can't do an index card a day. I've just got way too much going on to make that kind of commitment. So I decided I would do an index card when I can, which is basically an iQuick. So, you know, I think I'll start that. So this will be the first one. It is not an index card, it is a tag. I kind of prefer working with tags, but I will do tags and index cards in my little iQuick series. So, and what that means is I can't commit to doing it every day. I can't commit to doing it every other day. It's an index card when I can. So that's why I call it an iQuick. So I just want to share some art journaling things with you guys. But so anyway, that's what will be coming here in the near future. So what I did, after I put that sticker down, even though you can't see it on film, you could still see the clear film of the sticker. And I knew that I was going to be doing some stamping on top of it. So I sealed it all in so that I was hoping that you wouldn't be able to see that line of the sticker. And it hit it pretty well. So I just slapped some Mod Podge on there to seal it in so that would all react as one piece, because I wasn't sure how the medium plans that I had were going to behave on the sticker as opposed to the painted background. It would probably behave a little differently, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be uniform, so that's why I put the Mod Podge on there. So, yeah, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm going to dry it a little bit. I think I cut some of that out. And not everything is in here, guys. Some of it got missed, but I'll try and explain it as I go. So that is a Graphic 45 stamp. I love that stamp. It is awesome. It has the Harlequin and printed text behind it. And it's imperfect. I love that stamp. I don't remember where I got it. I think I got it at one of the craft stores, I believe. But it was very, very cheap. But I do love it. I will be using that a lot in my iQuicks. Index card, ICW. iQuick, yeah. I had to go through that again in my head. So I stamped it on there, and yeah, one was definitely not enough. And then I thought, well, you know, I can line this up because it's got a good pattern to it. Even the text is patterned nicely. I could line that up pretty good. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just leave that. Nope, I loved it too much. I had to do it all the way across the whole darn tag. Love the stamp. So yeah, you never would have known I started with black gesso. I challenged myself to cover up what I wanted to challenge myself with, apparently. But the green, I don't know why. I always have a problem working with green. But this, I like the way this one turned out. It was fun. And then I'm just showing you guys what I do when I clean my stamps. I'd use the extra on some tissue paper, and then I wind up using that tissue paper in other journal pages and projects. Just randomly on there. That's a good way to clean off your stamps and still get use out of that ink. So here, that is just, oh my god, I fuss with this thing like crazy. It's just a little medallion looking chipboard piece that's embossed. And it kind of has a fleur-de-lis look to it, but it isn't a fleur-de-lis. And I mess with this thing like crazy, and I think I left a lot of it in. So first I gessoed it, and then I did all different kinds of paints, and in the end it wound up different, but I struggled over my colors, what I was going to do. I really wanted to put pops of orange in this, but it just wasn't working out, so I left it. I didn't wind up using that, so I went with the brown, the rustic metallic, and I hated it. Yeah, that did not look good. So, didn't go on very well. So it wound up, in the end, I wound up painting it black and rubbing some antique gold. Hold on. It's not what I'm doing right now, obviously, but what is the color of this? It's Inca Gold Metallic Rub, and the color is Old Silver. So in the end, I wound up doing it all black. And here it is. I put black on there, and I was hoping to just leave it in the crevices, and it didn't work out. It all kind of rubbed off. But I was kind of going for that old medallion look, but the brown, I wasn't feeling the brown on this background. It just wasn't going. I really liked the black and white theme. So, but when I saw the medallion, I thought, oh, maybe I can make that kind of look like a brassy color. I tried it, and it would have worked on something else. It would have worked on a different kind of background very, very nicely, but it didn't work out here. So that's walnut distress stain I put on there. Then I dried that. Then I tried some black soot. All the hints were going to make this darn thing black Kelly with some silver highlights. It was all going to that. It just took me a while to listen to it. And it looked pretty cool right there, but again, when I put it on the tag, it just didn't look right. Did not look right to me. So there's the ink gold. First I started with a brush, but then it started picking up the distress ink and then putting it in my ink gold. So I wound up just rubbing it on with my finger. I always try to brush it, and then in the end I wind up using my fingers. So, and it looks pretty cool. You can't really see it very well on the film, but it does look cool. It does look like an old medallion, but I just didn't like how it looked in that color. See, I'm fussing with it. And then I'm like, maybe it needs more black. I'm still trying. Paint the darn thing black already. And I do eventually wind up doing that. See how it just doesn't look right? So there it is. I wound up painting it black, and I rubbed the ink gold on it. And I did that off camera. So that is a stamp that I just got. I just picked up this weekend. It's a Tim Holtz stamp. And it is Stampers Anonymous. And it says, creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. And I really like that. I connected with that one. So that was what I decided to put on here. Now you can probably see at the top there, there's another piece of paper. As I was trying to get the bronzy color to work on this tag, I had kind of like a brown colored paper, and it just wasn't happening. The white was popping out too much. So I went with like it's It's like an off-white kind of grayish paper from my stash of you know, leftover pieces from my scraps. So, and I just wrinkled it up. I wanted it to look kind of old. And then I used my black soot distress ink to distress all the edges after I tore it up. I was thinking about putting an Eiffel Tower on there too, but it just wasn't working. And there, what I did right there is like very, very lightly. I wrinkled it up and I just wanted to hit the highlights of the wrinkles. So that's how I did that. So now I just found some trims that I thought would look nice. I just got some lace at the bottom there. I decided to hot glue it on there. Oh my god, those glue strings drive me crazy. It's so funny too, my light like picks it all up. I look like I got spider webs all over me. And that's just some black trim with some silver stuff in it. I'm just layering that just barely over the lace. And then I've also challenged myself, some of you may know, I've mentioned this before, I wanted to use more feathers in my projects this year. So I got some feathers, and the funniest thing happened tonight. There was a fly buzzing me all night. He was sabotaging my work. So what's he do? He lands on my bag of feathers. My bag of feathers has a little open spot as I reached in to grab my feathers, and I smacked the fly on the bag of feathers, and they flew they puffed out of the bag. I would clean up feathers for like 30 minutes. It was crazy. They went everywhere. It was funny though. I was like, yeah, that was smart. That was like stupid move of the day. But I got the fly, and that's what matters, because he was kamikazeing right into my face like for hours, driving me nuts. So I squished him. But I made a mess of him and my feathers. It was gross. But anyway, so there we go. Right here I'm just showing you, because I did that off camera too, my sentiment needed to be backed with some, it just needed to be framed out. So I did that, and then I highlighted it with my silver Adirondack dabber with some paint. I just hit it around the edges. And then I'm using my archival black ink just to outline the outsides of the tags, like I always like to do. I think it frames it in real nice. I decided not to distress the outsides of the tag this time. Kind of like the look of it with the straight lines. And there we go. I think I grabbed some foam tape and decide to pop that up just a little bit. Give it just a little bit of dimension to kind of match the dimension in the medallion at the bottom. The sentiment's almost too big, but I just liked it so much I just went with it anyway. So, and here off camera I just add a little filigree piece at the top where the hole is, and I punched a hole with my big chopper thingy and punched a hole right through it and glued it down. And then I just added some ribbon and some fibers to the top to kind of finish it off. And that, I really like that fiber, that black one right there. I just kind of tied it in 2 knots, and then just wrapped it around the other, 1 knot I guess, and just coiled it around that other ribbon at the top, and then just put a tiny little bit of hot glue off camera, you didn't see that, at the top to kind of tie it all together. And then I liked it, and I thought, woohoo, I'm all done, thumbs up. I liked it. But then, nope, it needed a charm. It needed one more little dangle, because my whole thing is movement on my projects. And even though there's ribbon at the top, and that gives a little bit of movement, and the feathers as well, I just wanted to add a fleur-de-lis charm to this. So I just used a little piece of black chain that I had and just made it in a loop. I put it through the ribbon. There was like a little loop for my ribbon. I just put it through ribbon. Whatever, my trim. Put it through there and just had it hanging down like a little necklace, and then I just added the charm to the bottom of it. And there it is. I just added it with a jump ring. And I like that. I wanted that little bit of movement on there. Made me happier. And there it is. Hey guys, I hope it inspired you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon.